Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It is Tuesday. As we talked about yesterday, I'm going to do a flea market find video with some Nascar diecast. I was going over just how much I bought this weekend. So I mentioned, I believe, yesterday that on Sunday, my wife and I went down to the Indiana State Fairgrounds. They have the Greater Indiana Yard Sale or Greater Indiana Garage Sale at the fairgrounds, at a couple of the big pavilions, lots of booths, lots of vendors, and found one booth in particular. Guy had mostly Legos and random toys, but he had several totes full of diecast, both Hot Wheels and NASCAR. He had a good price on them. I ended up buying almost 100 diecast cars from this vendor. So between that vendor and another vendor, I'm north of 100 diecast cars that I picked up this weekend. So over the next few weeks, we will be probably 6 or 7 videos over the next 2 or 3 weeks of random diecasts that I picked up. So without further ado, let's start with 2000. This one's from Hot Wheel Racing. These are almost all going to be 1/64 scale. They got a really nice Kenny Irwin. Of course, tragically, this is the car that Kenny lost his life in July of 2000 at New Hampshire. That is the Sabco racing car owned by Felix Sabates. Got them lined up back here. I'm trying not to knock them all off this table. Stay in the Hot Wheels, and we'll, strangely enough, stay with Team Sabco for 1998. We have Joe Nemechek with the real Yellow Pages paint scheme. I think he only ran that at a handful of races. But some of you may not know what the Yellow Pages are, especially if you're younger. Just basically a phone book of businesses. And then they were pretty exclusive to each area that was serviced by whatever phone company. And go on eBay and look, and some of them actually sell for a great deal of money. We'll stay in the 90s with 1999 Racing Champions. We got Mark Martin, but this is the Xerox paint scheme. I remember him running this one in a few races. I always liked that gradient of the red to the blue. Kind of think it was a good look for that car during that era. Now we'll skip to 2000, I believe this is 2002, based on the paint scheme. Oops, try not to knock the camera down here. Winner's Circle, Kevin Harvick. I don't remember this diecast being released, but 2002 I wasn't much in position to look at diecast. But I do like that paint scheme. It does have all of our proper contingency sponsors, or I should say associate sponsors, not contingency. Get Team Realtree, Sonic, Snap-on, and Sylvania, and there's Oreo there down in the bottom. That's probably honestly my least favorite of all the Goodwrench paint schemes. Go back to 1998 here. Dick Trickle in the Busch Series for Snyder Trucking. This team was Spencer Motor Ventures. I'm sorry, that was the 5-car. 64, that's Dennis Shoemaker's team. So Trickle won at Darlington in 1998 in that car, beating Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a late race photo finish. I can't remember if he passed Jr. or Jr. was trying to pass him, but I know he beat Jr. at Darlington that year. I'm not even 100% sure what year this is. 2000 is what it says on the back, so that's what we'll go with. Yep, it says 2000 here on the front as well. But it's a Bill Elliott. I believe that says 25th anniversary. So a nice little paint job there. You see Super 8 Motels and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups associate sponsors during that era for Bill. 1998, back to the Busch Series with the Lance Snacks car. Jeff Purvis, so that would have been Phoenix Racing. You can tell it's Phoenix. It's got the eagle there. I think there was a brief time where David Ridling ended up owning the 4 team. Or maybe it was Joe Gibbs. I can't remember, but there was some ownership changes there in the late 2000s, or in the late 90s with the Busch Series. Going to 2000, it's a pretty cool little car. And I, again, drawing a blank on when it ran in 2000. But Terry Labonte with the Fruit Loops Cherry Berry Swirls paint job. So, I don't like the Tony the Tiger paint job that he got his last win in. I just not one of my favorites. But for some reason, that one caught my eye. Both just the color combination, and I just feel like I don't want to say the rarity of it, but it was the uniqueness would be better. This has to be 2007. It is 2007 Winner's Circle. Mark Martin with the American Heroes Memorial Day car, U.S. Army. So this would have been, I'm trying to think who owned it. I believe Bobby Ginn still owned the team at that point, but it wasn't long after that it went to DEI. Another one from 1998 Cup Series. This was a one-off race for Ernie Irvan with the M&M's paint scheme. That was the original M&M's car for MB2 Motorsports. They ran that car at Las Vegas. Got a couple more here from 1998. Cup Series, Jerry Nadeau. This was the Elliott Marino, Bill Elliott and Dan Marino co-owned team, First Plus Financial. Painted up with the Miami Dolphins colors, and of course, Dan Marino's number of 13. Jerry started the year in this team and ended up finishing the year for Harry Melling. Ted Musgrave finished the year in the 13 car. Got a top 5 at Phoenix. I believe he finished 5th. That race was rain shortened. Go to 1999 here in the Cup Series. And I don't see this diecast pop up very often either. Robert Presley with the 77 team Jasper engines. He had a couple good seasons in this car. He definitely, I feel like Robert definitely gained for this team. They made, I believe he was top 20 one year in points. Had a runner-up finish at Chicago with the old yellow car. Not that paint scheme, but the yellow paint scheme in 2001 to Kevin Harvick. I'm not sure at all when this paint scheme ran. So I'm drawing a blank on this one. It says 1999, but I don't remember it. Dale Jarrett Quality Care, almost like a reverse paint scheme. But I have no clue when that run. I'm totally drawing a blank on it. But I do like how clean that paint scheme is. The blue, the reverse, the blue and the white reverse there is iconic, but I like how clean that actually looks. So we got 2 more here. Like I said, I'm going to do these probably 15 at a time, so it gives us room up here. Now this one is one for sure I don't ever remember seeing, which I think is super cool. But 50th anniversary of NASCAR 1998. Greg Biffle in the Truck Series. I believe that was his rookie season in trucks. But Biffle has not changed at all in his looks. Granger, it's in here, so I think that's a cool looking car. I always liked the Granger paint jobs. They always had a good look to them. And our final one of the, if you're looking for a monetary return, this would be probably the biggest one that you're going to see over the next however many weeks it takes me to get through this. But 1998 Racing Champions, and this is one of the chase cars. This is release number 4. I believe I read they did collect all 12. And it's kind of like a chrome-plated car. This is Todd Bodine. Todd started the year in this season. Let's try that again. Todd started the year in this car, but would not finish the season in this car. There was ownership changes, manufacturer changes, and all sorts of issues. Of course, it became known as the Tabasco Fiasco. Other drivers that drove for this team included, of course, Darrell Waltrip, who would finish the season, Jimmy Horton, Greg Sachs, Loy Allen, and I think there may have been one other driver, maybe Andy Hillenberg. I am drawing a blank on that. But that was by far, I think, if you want to quote unquote be like the biggest return for, dollars if I was to put these up for sale. But I did get a couple of these cars. You've seen it on the video last year from Joseph over at Joy Collecting on his channel. He had messaged me and we had made a deal. He was sending me some die cast and whatnot. So had a couple of these cars in there. So I need to get this with those. So that way maybe I can try to put together this set. Because I think I've never seen these out in the wild. When they were live on the shelves. And it was back then in '98. It's just like it is now, that you'll have people kind of hanging out at the Walmart, the Target, waiting for the new boxes of diecast to be opened, so that way, obviously they can resell or do whatever it is people do. But I was happy to get these. I'm sure those gentlemen at the booth were like, man, this guy's nuts buying all these cars. But I was just happy to buy them. Thankful to have a wife that encourages me to spend money on things like this and have fun with it. But I think everybody needs a hobby, needs a getaway, needs something that they can do that, you get away from life. You get away from all the stress and so forth. But there we go. We'll lift this up. Lots of die cast. Like I say, this is round 1. We're probably going to go 7, maybe even 8 rounds of die cast. So, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thanks again for watching. Really, really do appreciate it. And we will see you later.